But would a federal program like this vaccine credential farce be constitutional or even ethical? Well, I would sure think not, but then again, once we started giving our rights away over a year ago, I knew we'd likely never get them back without some kind of a catch. That's the way big government infringement works, and I've been warning the sheep of this nation about that very danger for over a year now. First, it was the school and business closures, along with the government classification of what is essential and what is not. Then it was the stay-at-home orders, which never seemed constitutional or American in the first place. Then it was the curfews, the capacity limits, the forbidden home and holiday gathering edicts, and the mask mandates that still have not been lifted in most places. Oh, and there is still no end in sight for face diapers, by the way, even if you decide to get your vaccine. No, the great American masking was just the trial run for this vaccine passport rollout. And let's ponder that premise for just a moment. The almighty government, along with unelected bureaucrats and officials, will allow us to return to our normal lives if we get a vaccine? That's not normal, and I would hope to goodness my fellow Americans are aware of that. And I hope to goodness my fellow Americans haven't become such sheep that they would find that normal in any way, shape, or form. You can travel freely, make a living, gather with others, go to a school, and live life if you take a couple of shots to the arm. Am I the only one who sees a giant problem with that premise? Since when do Americans have to be allowed to do any of those things? And why are we being treated like common criminals, deviants, or defectors if we don't comply with such tyranny? You know, I've said it before and I'll keep saying it because over a year later, it's gotten worse. Some of us have sadly gotten so comfortable with tyranny, we don't recognize it anymore. We comply, no questions asked. The government closing your business, mandating what you wear strapped to your face, where you can travel, who you can see, how many people you're allowed to be around or have in your own home is tyranny. And now the government wants to tell us the only way to end that tyranny is to get a vaccine and prove it? Excuse me, that is still tyranny. Oh, and here's another thing. You're telling me I have to get a shot in the arm to travel or go to a concert, but illegals with COVID are allowed to pour into our country at our expense with no legal right to be here, and that's okay? That's safe, welcome, and healthy? Well, I think the hell not. And back to the hypocrisy of the vaccine passports. The Democrats think Americans should have to prove, document, and present a COVID vaccine record to go on a cruise or go to a concert, but are completely and totally opposed to voter ID laws of any sort? How the heck does that make any logical sense? Quick answer, it doesn't. This is all about control, about power, about keeping the American people under the government thumb. And this is exactly what will continue so long as patriots sit by and allow themselves to morph into sheep. I want all of you listening to this to ask yourself what freedoms, what privacy, what rights you'd be willing to give up in the hopes of returning to normal. And furthermore, do you really trust the government is going to hold their end of the bargain? Has the last year taught you nothing? Wake up. This is wrong. And those are my final thoughts from Nashville. God bless and take care.